Hey guys, I'm here again. Time for another installment of Making It for Realsies. I'll make it so you don't have to. Today it's going to be Irish nachos. So this is kind of an interesting one. I know I have a lot of food ones coming up. Um, but yeah, what can I say? I just culinary genius right up here, all up here. Yes, with great food ideas and interesting things to try. Anyway, so this one is actually based on a real dish, I guess, that I used to get at a restaurant back in my hometown. It's called Knollwood Restaurants, and they're really cool. Anyway, they had this meal, or not a meal, but it's a side dish called Irish nachos, and it's a plate of their fries, which are awesome, covered with cheddar cheese and bacon bits and green onions. And then you get a side of their ranch dressing for a dip. And it's just awesome. It's super awesome. I would say it's better than poutine. Poutine's pretty good, but it's different, but it's kind of, it's the smothered fries. It's not like a loaded fries like from Arby's. It's not chili cheese fries from wherever. So yeah, it's a whole kind of breed unto itself, and they're pretty darn good. And I was actually having a conversation with some people about it quite a while back, and I thought, since I'm doing all this food stuff, why don't I do that? So I'm gonna make a couple modifications that I thought might work better for the home environment, and we will see how it goes. All right, sit tight. I'm making it so you don't have to. All right, so I just grabbed out a few of my ingredients. So I got out I'm making them like tater tots again. I know, it's like, woohoo, tater tots. Instead of the fries, only because I feel like the tater tots give you more of like that fry taste or texture, because they have, I don't know if they flash fry them before they freeze them or whatever. Anyway, but I feel like they have more of a fryness to them. So I thought it would actually be a good maybe twist, and also maybe a little bit more realistic to the taste, because I don't have a fryer like for cooking oven fries. And I feel like the oven fries, whenever I make them, they're always they're just not the same as fast food fries or restaurant fries. So anyway, so I'm gonna use tater tots. You can do fries or you can do whatever you like for potatoes. I've also got my green onions and some cheddar cheese, and we will save the ranch dip for last. So I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven, get that going, and then we'll do the assembly. All right, so yes, I'm aware I was touching my face in the last clip. I actually just washed my hands prior, and then I've actually just now washed my hands before coming back to see you. Yeah, you, and you, and you, right? Anyway, so yeah, back to making it for realsies. I'm doing it so you don't have to. So I got a block, I'm just using medium cheddar cheese. I'm going to grate it though, just because I feel like it'll be easier to sprinkle. I'm not gonna make a huge portion, but I'm gonna make enough. So we'll see. Still waiting for the oven to preheat. So I'm gonna just shred this cheese here. You can probably even use old cheese, like the old cheddar cheese. It's a little bit of a stronger flavor. So it just kind of depends what you like. Although I find that the old cheese doesn't melt as well. So I like a marble or a medium cheddar. That's just me. I'm pretty basic though too, as far as cheese is concerned. Anyway, so I'm gonna just go ahead and go with that. Put the extras down there. Okay. And then I got my green onions. I have a few left. I thought I better use them before they go bad. So I'm gonna give those a little choppy chop. Do you guys ever have like limp onions? No, just me? Actually, I don't really cook a lot with green onions. I think this is maybe like the second time in my life I've ever done something with green onions. So yeah, kind of down to the nubbies here. So I probably don't need a ton, so I didn't cut myself a ton. It's just for a little zhuzh, right? A little bit of a bite. I also forgot to mention earlier that there's bacon. So I got my ready crisp bacon. So I'm gonna cut a few little pieces off that to make like a bacon bit. Instead of using bacon bits, I guess you could if you wanted to, and if you had them actual bacon bits, which are interesting because they are bits of bacon. They're like pre-bitted bacon, which I did not do because this is fine. I like this kind of stuff. So I'm having some troubles opening it. So I'm going to open it and then I'll come back. All right, so I got my package open. That's good. So I'm just gonna because it comes out, it's pre-cooked, but it's pretty limp. So I'm just gonna cut the little bits and put them down here with my green onion. And no, I don't have a proper cutting board, thanks for asking. But my plate is fine. And I'm just trying mostly to get like the meaty bits actually. So I'm gonna maybe pick off some of the fatty parts of the bacon. And then I think I'll probably put these on my plan of attack, because I've actually never made these myself. So we're all in this together right now, right? So this is a first for me, for making them. I am going to cook the tots for maybe they're supposed to go in for about 20 minutes. So I think I'll probably cook them for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll put the toppings on. So that way the cheese melts and, pop on the bacon, and the bacon can kind of cook and crisp up a little bit, and the onions can, I don't know, do their onion magic in there. Infuse it with the onion flavor, I don't know. I am going to pick some more of this fat off here. So I'm gonna cut a few bits here, and then, so I think I'm gonna kind of do it in bits and pieces, part and parcel, no, bits at a time. So I think mostly cooking the tots, so that way they get nice and done, and then saving the rest of the toppings for last, for that extra little few minutes. And I should also be keeping track of how long this whole endeavor takes. My oven is also really slow for preheating. It's only at 200 degrees right now, so it's super slow, and they have to be cooked at 425. So I'm gonna follow the instructions, because when I don't, I have problems. I have enough problems without that. I'm good. Okay, I think I have everything prepped, so I'll even throw some tots on the cookie sheet. I'm just using a baking pan. I'll show you before it all goes in, and I think that's cool for now. Bet you didn't know this. Fun fact, there's actually a song called Green Onions by Booker T and the MGs. There's a little dance in your land. Just to show you, I just did one single layer of the tots. They're not true tater tots. What do they call them? Tasty Taters by McCain. So theirs are a little different, but it's the same idea. Anyway, I just did one layer of them. I wanted to make them a nice little pile, so they'd be aesthetically presented for you. But I thought, well, for maximum, topping enjoyment, probably doing it flat would be better. And then that way I can spread out the cheese and everything all nicely. I've also got some lovely old-timey music in the background. That's a little Take the A Train, Duke Ellington. Partly because, again, going back to the originators that I'm aware of this particular recipe, the Irish nachos, Knollwood, they had a theme to their restaurant. They had several restaurants. It was a chain. There still is a few that are out there in Southern California. Shout out. But the one that I most remember was one where they had, it was a World War II theme. And so the whole inside of the restaurant was meant to look like kind of homes, in Old Town, Orange County, with porches and whatnot. But they also had a lot of posters, serve in the war, and, not propaganda posters, obviously, but you know, things related to World War II, gas masks and things like that. So it was a little bit creepy to me as a little kid, I have to admit, but it's one of those memories that still sticks with me to this day. And then actually there is still a Knollwood in Irvine. So anyway, so the Knollwood restaurant that still is in existence, the one that we go to when we go down and visit, is in the old part of the town called Irvine, and that's where I'm from. And it's interesting because it's a historical building because it was the very first blacksmith shop in the city of Irvine. And so it's still the old building. It looks old. It's really cool. It's like wooden. They've got like a fire pit. They've got like tons of old like blacksmith tools and machinery and all kinds of stuff. That's actually really cool. Okay, so my oven just beeped, so it's preheated. It took a little while. So yeah, so let's go ahead and assemble this. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my cheese and pop that there. Make sure that we can see everything. I left my bacon bits out just in case we need more. So okay, so we're good. Hey, I'm making it so you don't have to, but you're more than welcome to, because it's good stuff, I promise. I wouldn't make stuff that's bad. Remember, like I was talking about, like the bologna and Jello casserole with mayonnaise sauce? Yeah, this not that. That's gross. That's gag me with a spoon territory. Okay, so I got my shredded cheese. Did a nice bunch of just medium shredded cheese. Gonna just sprinkle that, try to make sure it gets on all of the tater tots, because you don't want to have any naked tots, right? How often does that happen to you? Naked tots, right? Guys with little kids, naked tots, it's a thing, right? Yeah. Sometimes even with older kids, it's still a thing, but we don't talk about that because that's probably embarrassing. Let's see. Okay, so I'm almost out of all my shredded cheese. I suppose I could always make more, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cover them and smother them in cheese, because cheese, right? Enough said. Even if it is just basic cheddar cheese, it's still cheese and it's still kind of tasty, so I'm not complaining. There's that. Okay, so that's what we've got for that. Extreme close up. So there's my cheese, all pretty well covered on my tots. And then next up is going to be my bacon bits. So we'll see, I might have to cut some more bacon bits. But I'm just going to kind of sprinkle those around. Again, try to evenly distribute. I know it's not the best setup I've got here, but you know, we make do. We do the best we can with what we have when we have it, or something, right? And then I'm gonna do the green onion. I have to admit, the green onions like smell so good. It smells like I'm actually cooking something for real, not just like doing something silly. Yeah, because you know, cooking's fine. It's not my favorite thing, I won't lie. But you know, like sometimes it's fun to do stuff like this, right? Something to try, something to pass the time. So it actually doesn't look terrible. It's pretty okay, maybe just okay. So I'm going to show you. So we got a little color in there, right? We got the bacon, we got the cheese, and that's really all there is to it. The fries, the cheese, the bacon, the green onion. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to put that in, and we'll see what happens. Alrighty. Okay, so you guys, who was paying attention just then? Anybody? Show of hands. I'm not raising my hand. No, why? Because I wasn't paying attention. And I said that I was going to actually do the cooking in 2 separate batches. So I was going to cook the tots first to get them nice and cooked and crispy, and then I was going to go in and add in the toppings so that they could kind of finish up with the cooking. So I touched my glasses, and I'm going to wash my hands again. So I see you. It's good. Don't worry. So yeah, anyway, I've since went back and did that properly. So I had to go and undo my mistake, but that's cool. So plain tots are now in the oven, and I have the timer set for about 12 minutes because they were starting to kind of defrost a little bit. So I figured, well, maybe they won't need the full 20 minutes. So I'm put them in for 12. Just checking my timer. And then I'll check them and then decide if it needs a couple more minutes, and then I'll throw on the toppings, and then we'll see how that turns out for the last few minutes of cooking. But yeah, so just wanted to point out, I caught my mistake before I actually went through with it. Don't follow through with a mistake. But it's good because then I learned. See, I got ahead of myself. I was too excited. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm making the food and I like the food and I don't want it to be bad. I want it to be good for you guys because I'm doing this for you guys. It's totally not for me. It has nothing to do with me at all. I'm just here for your entertainment, which is cool. That's cool. I'll be your clown. And I'm gonna let that finish. I'll check on it. Maybe I'll check back in. Maybe I'll just let it go and then I'll show you when it's done. I don't know. We'll pull a little SpongeBob 15 minutes later. I can't do the accent, but you know what I'm talking about, right? You've seen the memes. You've seen the show, right? Please tell me you know SpongeBob, please. Okay, so these have been cooking. About 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and put my toppings on, which are ready to go. And then I'll pop them back in the oven for a few more minutes. And just like that, movie magic, voila. So this is actually getting ready for round 2. So I'm gonna put this in for a couple minutes. With the tots, one thing that I found was when I took them out, I think you might be better off if you're able to flip them around partway through cooking. Otherwise one side gets quite crispy and the other side gets, I'm gonna do it maybe like, I'll try 3 minutes. I'll check it in 3 minutes and see how we're looking. Probably won't be enough time. But yeah, I'm thinking when you're cooking your tots separately, you're probably better off doing it half and half, halfway, and then flip them over and finish cooking them the rest of the way. So that way both sides get crispy. Otherwise, I was finding with mine, one side stuck to the pan because I wasn't using parchment paper. That might also be another helpful hint if you don't have a nonstick pan, is to use the parchment paper. But yeah, if you want a nice, even crisp, then I would definitely recommend flipping them partway through the cooking. And then, yeah, throwing on your toppings. We'll see what happens in a couple minutes. And so I don't know, what's new in your world? Anything new, exciting? Anything not new and not exciting? Yeah. Again, if you have any other suggestions for food things, like I said, I've got a couple other things. You've probably seen my trailers. I've got them up on Facebook. I'm also kind of uploading stuff to YouTube as well because not everybody I know has Facebook. So I've started putting some stuff on YouTube, although it's pretty much all the same stuff that I'm putting on Facebook. It's just a different platform for people that don't like Facebook. Yeah, because they're crazy. So it's called Susie D Music and Stuff, if you're interested. But again, like I say, it's pretty much all the same stuff. Unless you want to watch some like really random stuff from like my kids from like 5 years ago. Yeah, probably not. But you never know, right? This is a slice of my life that I'm sharing with you. So that was interesting. I'm going to just let you go and chill for a few more seconds while this gets hot for a few more minutes. And we'll see how it goes. Hang tight. It just went off. I gave it an extra 3 minutes or so. So it actually smells really good. It has that cheesy, green oniony, some bacony, some potato. It just like smells actually really good. And it actually looks not half bad. Here it is in the natural light. You don't need to see my dirty dishes. So yeah, it actually looks fairly appetizing. Yay, I'd say that's a win. So I'm just gonna set those there and close up my oven. And I'm gonna let that cool for a couple minutes. And in the meantime, I will grab out my super secret dipping sauce recipe. All right, so here's one of the best parts. So let me grab this out for you. Hi. Here we go. It's hiding behind the HP sauce. This is the super secret. It's just Hidden Valley Ranch. That's like classic ranch. When you think ranch, you think the Hidden Valley, right? How do they ever find it? I don't even know if it's hidden. Yeah, that's better than the Uncanny Valley. That's creepy stuff. Google that, or don't Google that. Uncanny Valley. especially if you're like me, I have a fear of like mannequins and dolls and things like that. Not a good place for me to be. Yeah, that's another story for another video, not today. So just some basic ranch, whatever ranch dressing you like. The ranch dressing that they have at Knollwood restaurants is like dope, and it must be their own house recipe. Maybe that's something I could even look up. I don't know, because sometimes people come up with, you know, imitation recipes or whatever for various restaurants and whatnot, so you can make it at home. But for now, I'm just gonna go with my basic ranch, and I think that will be fine. I'm just gonna reuse my plate. Here it comes. Can go with that for now. It's a little blob in my plate from IKEA. I've had these for a long time. They're nostalgic. I can't get rid of them. I can't part with them. They're my IKEA plates. Besides, when am I ever going to IKEA? Okay, so I've got my best plate ever. Right, Crusty Crew, because that's me. Are you ready, kids? Because here comes the big reveal. All right, so of course we've got our tots here. I've got a spatula, so I'm just gonna kind of loosen them up off the pan. A little flying debris, never hurt anybody, right? Nice and cheesy. Right on all SpongeBob here. How old is SpongeBob now? He's been on for like 15 or 20 years at least, hasn't he? I should actually know that. I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't. And here's some more. Right there, the hot steamy goodness, just like SpongeBob is advertising. Maybe this is one for the Krusty Krab, right? To go with their, give the chum bucket, give old Plankton a little run for his money there. All right. Okay, so I've got my sauce. Should I try a plain one first and then try it in the sauce? So let's do that. So let's find a good one here. All right, so here's what we're looking at. So I'll grab, I don't know, this one over here on the end. Looks kind of good. Reveal shot. Here we go. I'd say that's a win. And that's not even with the sauce. So let's try one with the sauce. All right, so that had a nice balance of cheese, onion, and bacon. So let's find another one here, because I kind of had to redo them. So all of my nice little presentation kind of went down the tubes, but you know, you get the idea. You could distribute it more evenly if you did it properly the first time. Okay, so here comes the sauce. See, that's pretty good. Oops, I lost a little bit there. I think that's fine. I think I have enough to. Okay, so here's take two with sauce. It's on there, I promise. Much better. That makes it, like, it's good either way. The sauce just kicks it over the edge. That little zhuzh factor. So, yeah. I'd say these are good. I'd say go ahead and make these. And I feel like if you're making them, I took my time because this was the first time I made them. Plus, I'm trying to do a video. So I'm kind of doing a lot of things all at once. But I feel like if you were making them at home for Realsies, you can make it for Realsies too. You know, you could make it, you know, like while your tots are cooking the first round, you could be shredding your cheese. You could even get pre-shredded cheese, although I don't find it melts as nice. That's beside the point. You know, you could be preparing your other, you know, couple ingredients, no big deal. While the tots are baking, you know, you could be making burgers. You could have it be like a fun side, like maybe for a barbecue or, you know, just like a fun summer meal or springtime, or just something, you know, a little bit different. Because I know we're all cooking a lot now and having to come up with interesting and new fun menu ideas, especially if you have kids. I feel like kids would eat this, you know, even if you just did the tots and cheese, but you know, all the other stuff really just adds to it. And I was even kind of debating leaving out the green onions just because like whatever, but I really feel like that flavor just gives it an extra kick and it actually really makes it that much more tasty. I'm going to see if I can grab a couple other taste testers. Otherwise, I'd say this is a thumbs up, a greasy thumbs up. And I like the tots because, again, like I was saying before, it's a little crunch and it's a little bit of that grease, to be honest, a little bit more of that fry feeling, the fried fry feeling. You're picking up what I'm putting down. It's all good. So, yeah, let me see if I can grab some unbiased taste testers. Okay, so this is Julia. She's one of my taste testers. So yeah, you should try it with the sauce. It's just ranch. So go ahead and give a little taste. They're not hot, they're just right. So what do you think?
Pretty okay.
Pretty okay, alrighty.
Not my favorite, but they're
Say that again.
It's actually kind of good, so.
Okay, all right, so now Michael, you're gonna give us a whirl here. So these are Irish nachos.
Irish nachos.
Yes, so give it a try. And this is ranch dip. Try it with a little bit, just to see. And then you can have a plain one as well.
Irish nachos remind me of like all dressed chips.
Okay, yeah, they kind of, similar. Would you like another one, a plain one, or you're good? You okay? All right, thank you. Okay, well there you have it. So a couple of unbiased opinions. So it was a success. So yeah, I feel like, kids would probably eat it. And adults would eat it. Like I say, it's kind of like a fun little side dish if you want something to go with burgers or who knows, whatever you make, sandwiches or whatever. And yeah, easy to make. It probably took me about an hour altogether, but I know if I made it again, or if you make it for real, it wouldn't take that long. It would probably mostly take half an hour, maybe, 20 minutes to cook the tots, and then during that time, prepping whatever other food, and then just check them and then heat them, and then you're good. So yeah, maybe half hour at the most, depending on your oven. I suppose that makes a difference too. My oven is slow, which doesn't help matter. So yeah, I'd say this was a success. I would encourage you to try it yourself. Don't take my word for it. But yeah, I think this would be cool. I would definitely make them again if I wanted sort of a nostalgic taste, a blast from my past, if you will. I don't know if I'd try it with fries. Like I say, I find them not quite like real fries, but I would definitely do it with the tots because I like that. Plus they're nice and potato-y, and I like potatoes. So yeah, I would give it, 2 thumbs up for sure. Or two tots up. And if I still had my green onions, I'd give it 2 green onions up. So there you go. So keep watching. If you have any other suggestions, let me know. Again, nothing gross, nothing weird, and I'll try it. I do have a couple other things on the go. Like I say, if you've seen my trailers, you kind of know what's coming down the line, and those are definitely next up on my list. Got a few other dance things in the works, so still trying to mix it up. I just kind of had like this backlog of food ideas that I wanted to get out there, get some content going. Got to keep everybody happy. Got to keep me happy, keep me entertained. You don't want me being bored. That's no good. So have a great day. I'll see you around. Remember, I made it so you don't have to. This was making it for realsies. Irish nachos.